So the thing is, last time I left Bali, I was not sure if I ever want to come back. Today I want to give you a little update on how the island looks right now. I have a bit of a hate-love relationship with it. Since 2017, I've been coming back every single year, and it has been changing throughout the years. So today I want to summarize a little bit the pros and cons of, on the one side, traveling to Bali, on the other side, spending a bit more time, maybe a couple months a year, maybe the winter, maybe even stay there long term. And in today's video, I really want to cover both. On one side, what Bali is famous for, kind of like the value you get for your money, the fairly lower cost of living, which actually also has been going up over the years, which I want to talk about as well. Talk about the luxury side, very nice hotels, beach club, and also the different areas. They're extremely different, and depending on where you stay, you might have very different experiences. I often hear people say they didn't really like it, and then I ask them where they stay, and I start to understand why. This is Bali in 2024. So as fun as you imagine your tropical adventure in Bali to be, the reality is things could come in the way. The traffic can be crazy, so being on a scooter can be tricky at times. On the other hand, you want to have a bit of a street food adventure, try some of the things. A very common thing in Bali is the infamous Bali belly. To stay safe while you're on the road, my go-to travel medical insurance is Safety Wing. The best part about it is it works kind of like a subscription. You can set it up for a couple of weeks if you have a trip, have it for months, or even use it as your long-term travel medical insurance. They have a $0 deductible, so even the smallest claims are covered. Worldwide, over 180 countries, up to $250,000. If something happens, you can call them, reach them at any time, 24-hour support. And the best part about it is truly how easy it is to set it up. Even if you're already on the road, you're in the airport, or you're already traveling, you can set it up within a couple of minutes. It also covers you for things like lost baggage, delays in the airport, and all of that starting from just a few dollars a day. I'll make sure to leave a link for you down below. First things first, especially if you're going to a bit of a more adventurous destinations, it's always good to stay covered, but in Bali I hear it all the time. People get in situations where you probably would wish that you had something like Safety Wing on your side. So somewhere right here, it should pop up. And with that, I would say, let's hop into talking about all the different sides of Bali. Then I'll take you on the road towards the end of the video, a very different part of the experience, so make sure to stick around.
Okay guys, before we hop into the flashy parts of today's video, I really want to make it about giving you the raw idea of this place, for whom it might be a good idea to spend a lot of time here, to come on a trip. And obviously most people really enjoy their time, but there's a select few that sometimes I don't hear the best things back about Bali. And we are right now in one of my favorite spots in all of Bali. It's not too special of a place, as you see. It is a rice field, and if you type in Canggu, Paddy, Club and Bar, back in my day when I first came to Bali in 2017, this place pretty much was absolutely raw, just a rice field. I obviously enjoyed it more like that. You could very peacefully walk. There's very few places where you can peacefully walk. Now they built like a little bar and gym there and a little paddle. Still not much going on here. One of the very few places where it's really calm and peaceful, especially in this neighborhood. To talk about different neighborhoods, I would say the three biggest ones, and in some ways the best, and also the nice thing about it is they're so different. So number one is Canggu. In the last couple of years, it was kind of like the most up and coming area. Lots of new cafes, fantastic service, amazing food, and I would say the biggest thing about it is people from all over the world. So a very big community of different online entrepreneurs, be it people doing online content, be it people doing drop shipping, consulting, coaching, the typical Bali, let's say, nomad thing. But also I'm pretty sure from a couple of people that I know is also Really, you can find people from all industries, especially connected to any kind of online business in Bali, which is a nice thing just for networking, meeting people, But I have to tell you, when you just see the kind of like the online content, you think it's like a very sophisticated place in a way, because there's some very nice establishments, some very nice restaurants, and the area is building out, and people have mixed feelings about that, in the sense of it is truly still just a village, and in terms of the infrastructure, it can get quite complicated. Like, I have a bit of a toxic relationship going on with Canggu. I keep coming back. Once you leave, you forget about all the negativity, all the bad memories, all the times things were hard, and you just remember the good things. You remember the energy, you remember the sweet emotions you had here, and it draws you back in. And what I'm saying is, one of the biggest thing is the traffic and infrastructure. Like, I have to tell you, surprisingly, it is getting better. If you avoid certain peak hours, you're gonna be fine here, but especially if you live here and you try to go out at 5-6 p.m, a 10-minute drive might turn into a 30-40 minute drive, and it's absolutely crazy. But it's moving fairly slow, so it's still easy to get by. This is like one of the major drawbacks. The other thing, in terms, again, once again of the infrastructure, just like no big stores, some things is a bit hard to buy, but at the same time, still, just the energy, just the type of life you can be living here, and as well the cost of living. We're gonna get to that in a second. I have to say, Canggu is an amazing area to live at, and this time around I also spent pretty much a good 6 weeks here. The second biggest one, which is quite a bit different, is Uluwatu. In Uluwatu there's also a couple of streets that have amazing cafes, a couple of nice gyms, but still it's very much kind of like being built in a way, and it's much more spread out. It's much more quiet and peaceful. I would say in terms of accommodation, it's probably a little bit more expensive. Not sure, because there's like less just offers, supplies of different places to stay. The other thing to mention about Canggu is there's constructions everywhere. And this is also getting better in a way, because at some point, you know, you have built the places that you want to build, but it can be quite tricky to find a place to stay without the construction, and right next to it without all the noise, and just driving on the street. Probably in a couple of years, that's kind of like what some people don't like, is that it was kind of like a village, and now it's very much becoming kind of like a tourist expat hub in Bali. And obviously some people liked it more before, but at the same time things are developing, things are growing, and I think in terms of like for the Balinese economy, overall, I think I was surprised that I see Canggu heading into a good direction. Some things are being finished, some roads are being widened, some things are being taken care of, while at the same time it still feels kind of like a free-flowing place. The most amazing sunsets, but at the same time, in terms of the beach, not the best beach, very honestly, like brown sand. Looks like it's great for surfing, but I don't see too many people swimming in it. I'm here for weeks and weeks on end, and I don't go swimming pretty much once. The place for swimming, I would say, is, like I mentioned before, Uluwatu. Beaches like the Melasti beach. We're gonna head there in a second, to the sick place where I started today's video off. Amazing hotels, amazing resorts, and also if you wanna kind of like spend more time there, it's much more laid back, much more chill. So if you have your own scooter, if you want to drive around, if you want to have a more peaceful environment, it's much more flat. So the nature there is also a bit different. You have these huge cliffs and limestones. Amazing place in terms of nature. A very different character, very different vibe, different nature. Once again, we're heading into Ubud, kind of like, in some ways, I would call it a commercial spiritual hub, in the sense of this is where a lot of retreats are, a lot of yoga retreats, a lot of hotels that are also centered around that, meditation, things like that. But at the same time, in the center of it is I would say, in terms of infrastructure, the most developed hub out of the three places I've mentioned, in the sense of restaurants that have been there for years, if not decades, different bigger stores. So very livable at the same time, but it's kind of far away from beaches, but the energy is just so different. So those, I would say, are the three areas to kind of live at. But if you want to see the real Bali, you can head up much further north. That's where many of the waterfalls are, and that's also where places are, for example, like Kintamani or Amet, or just basically real Balinese villages where there's a couple of different accommodations. I remember last year I stayed at one of these crazy bamboo houses. So once again, what Bali is really famous for is a very unique hotel concepts. Generally the hospitality here is fantastic. The service And to quickly talk about cost of living, I have to definitely tell you Bali has been getting a bit more expensive perhaps since 2017. This time around I talked to a couple of people. They mentioned that the consumption tax has been raised in Bali, so with that obviously that is being forwarded to the end customer, and in that sense you still can live here very much on a budget. In the sense of, I actually was trying to find a nice place this time around for 1 month, but the couple of places that I looked at around $1,000 a month, which you can get something really nice, they either had a construction next to it, or I just felt like the value wasn't quite provided. And what I found is that if you look around properly, I looked at a couple of different places for like $600–700 a month, kind of like villa, shared villa, guest houses type of thing. And very often what I find is, if you get a bit lucky, if you find the right location, I can show you an example. So guys, I'm talking a little bit more about, let's say, really getting the most from your money. Bali is still one of those places that if you find the right place, you can get a lot. So between like showing really nice places on the channel, traveling, a couple days here, a couple days there, especially when I'm in a place like Bali, I'm here to recover, I'm here to mostly work in cafes, go to the gym, not spend much time at where I'm staying. And I have to say I was really surprised by the spot I am right now. So as you see, super nice pool. We got a kitchen in the back. It's kind of like a 2-floor guest house, shared villa type of thing. And the rate is 9 million Indonesian rupiah. I don't know, like $500 something a month. I stayed here for a couple of weeks, a little bit more expensive than that. I think the daily rates were around like $30 or something, and I was actually really surprised. We're in the center of Canggu. The place is called Pondok Canggu, but we're also right next to a rice field, and it's pretty nice and quiet here most of the time, like right now. And that is actually quite hard to find in Canggu, so I would say for the same price point you can get a lot of different kind of spots. Just again to show you the backdrop, I felt super comfortable here most of the day. I'm not here just coming to sleep. This place is a little bit small, but if you just use it to kind of spend the night or even like hang out by the pool, is pretty nice as well. Maybe cook up some chicken every once in a while, have access to a shared kitchen. Nice to have, and the value for money is crazy. So if I just want to focus on work, and I have to warn you though, for the same price range, you can stay at a place where there's construction right next to you. Maybe the cleanliness is not the best, so it's kind of like a hit and miss. I personally would just go to the place when I'm already on the island, book a couple of nights, and then explore them. On the Facebook Marketplace, there's always like these monthly offers. And this time around I looked at a couple of places that were more expensive, but again, either there was the construction or the maintenance wasn't as great. So yeah, here 9 million Indonesian rupiah, I have to say. Amazing value, absolutely on the main street of Canggu, but kind of like in a little side street, so it's quite peaceful. And still to this day I would say the value is pretty unbeatable. A month for I think pretty much under $500. Not bad, not bad, not bad at all. Bali still got it. To just wrap it up, I would say you can base yourself off in one of these 3 different neighborhoods, or perhaps 2 weeks here, a month here, then move to the other one. If you're traveling, I would definitely make sure to check out the 3 with little trips over to like the more local areas like Kintamani, where you can see the Mount Agung volcano, the nature. Absolutely one of a kind. To quickly talk on the note of cost of living, I would say you can live an amazing life here for around $2,000 a month. I would calculate around $1,000 for the accommodation if you want it to be nice. Again, you can go a bit cheaper. Me personally, I like to kind of like budget a bit for 2-3 weeks where I'm barely spending time in the place that I'm going to be staying, and then move around and go to some nicer places and utilize the budget there to kind of like also have the best of both worlds. And let's say a scooter, you can get a basic scooter for under $100 a month. If you want it to be a bit nicer, a bit newer, a bit bigger, whatever it might be. Last couple of years I've been going for the big scooters, but me personally, I cannot really put that much in the front. Like sometimes I like to just move with my scooter, put a couple of bags there, and then go to another neighborhood. Right now I got, what is it, I think Yamaha or something. Nice brand new scooter, 2 million a month. Again, more than I paid maybe in 2017, but what is it, like 140 something, maybe a bit less dollars a month, which comes down to less than $5 a day. You have great transportation. The scooters barely use gas. You fill them up like 2 times a month. I don't know, maybe $7–8. And then you eat out, let's say once, twice a day. I would say most meals, if you go to one of the nicer places, you can get a breakfast for like $5 to $8, like a really nice breakfast, some of the best scramble, some of the the presentation is also really nice around here. I have to tell, there is some drawbacks in terms of like things like steak. Perhaps they have to import it from places like New Zealand. That can be more expensive. The local one, sometimes people say, is not as good, but depends of course on you. Another thing that is huge for me personally is one of the biggest reasons why I like to come to Bali. Like, I've been going through a bit of a rough patch in terms of traveling a lot, some personal things, some family things, and I like to come back to a place that is just comfortable, calm, where I know my way around, where everything is kind of nearby, so you choose your neighborhood to live. And for me, very big, getting a good gym, which was actually quite a bit of a problem in the last couple of years. So on that note, I would say, let me share with you a bit about one of my main spots that I've been spending a lot of time here in Bali. So obviously everybody knows, lots of nice little cafes, nice food, and the gym culture is also very, very strong. But just a couple of years ago, honestly, there was only maybe like one good gym in this neighborhood of Canggu. Crazy overpriced. Overall, pretty expensive, most gyms. But over the last like year or two, a lot of new gyms popped up. And I am standing right now here on a little terrace overlooking the rice terraces of Canggu at the Obsidian gym. And I have to tell you, equipment is absolutely perfect. You have everything you need. You have all the squat racks, air-conditioned area, fairly large free weight area, but it's much more than that. You know, on one side, yes, it's a gym. There's also kind of like a day club. There's really nice pool right here during the day. A lot of people hanging out there. Sauna, ice bath, everything you might want. Infrared sauna in the changing room. Up there, I think it's kind of like a functional area for personal classes, things like that. So, good sized gym. Can get a bit busy if you choose the right time of the day. The vibe is amazing. You can spend half a day here. And yeah, been here working out for over a month, been getting into pretty decent shape. Also really nice outdoor workout area. So we have both indoor with air conditioning, because it can get really hot during the day. Machines get a bit rusty, equipment usually suffers from that. Here you have kind of like best of both worlds. You want to go nice, hot and sweaty, go to the outside area. Want to really properly work out, have a proper gym, which is hard to find in most of Bali. But new places are popping up. I think there's a couple of new gyms, and this one for sure is one of the best gyms I have ever been to, just because of kind of like the lifestyle factor. You know, you can hang around here, enjoy the nature, enjoy the rice fields, hop into the pool, dip into the sauna. Back in the game. Caffeine is kicking in. I'm gonna go work out. And let's say it like that. If you plan to stay longer than a month here, let's say you come here with the idea, maybe a couple of weeks, maybe a month, feel the place out, you decide it's for you, you have the option to extend your visa for 1 month. The cost is around $50, and the easiest way is to do it through a visa agent. If you want to do it by yourself, you'll have to go to the office multiple times. It can be a hassle, like a ordeal of multiple days. I've always, when I came to Bali, was getting my visa with Gaya Bali visa. Okay guys, I just got a message that the passport is already here. So Gaya Bali visa, what they can do for you is they can pick it up in most places. You don't have to necessarily go to their office if you don't want to, and then they can also deliver it back, which is obviously extremely convenient. You don't have to go to these places, and it happened really fast. So let's see, my passport should be here. Hello.
Hello.
You got the documents?
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Nice to meet you.
I'm Roland from Gaya Bali Visa.
There we go. Yeah, I see. So you can deliver in like Canggu, Seminyak, or
Uluwatu.
So almost all over Bali, yeah? Great.
Ubud.
So where people stay, yeah? You got many passports there, or?
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Great. Need to sign something, or? Receipt. Okay.
Receipt.
So guys, I dropped off my passport 2 days ago, and here we are already with the extension. Perfect.
Sign.
All right, sure.
Yes.
The amazing thing is you can not only get like a visa extension if you decide to live here long term or you want to try it out. You can get a 6-month business visa. You can get a residence here. You can do business setup with them. The visa, which is called the Kitas, which is pretty much residence permit to stay here over multiple years. I know many people that have done it, and these guys are very easy to reach. They can answer all your questions, and even, let's say they have 2 offices, I believe, one in Seminyak, one in Ubud, but they can also come to your villa, pick up your passport, deliver it back to you, which makes the whole visa process much easier than having to go to all the immigration offices yourself, filling out all these things, figuring it all out. So I'll make sure to leave their contact down below as well. Hello. Good. Here we go. Didn't recognize you. How are you doing, G?
I was a little late too.
Huh?
I was a little late too.
Yeah?
Perfect.
How are you? A Bali classic, a little sunset. We got Kieran over here.
Yo.
Bro, we met here, what was it? 2019?
That's right, bro. Yeah.
Yeah.
Late, it would have been, late 2019, bro, actually. Yeah.
In the gym.
That's right. I remember.
So
Surya.
you live here like half of the year or now almost full, right?
Full time, yeah. So just recently I've been here for almost a year, and I was also here for a year in that 2019 period too.
Yeah, and then we met in Italy. That was 2022.
That would have been 2022, yeah, I think so. Yeah, in Bali, Puglia.
So I would say the thing about Bali is, the amazing thing is people pass through here all the time. If you stay over a while, most people that you know, if people are traveling, they're gonna end up in Bali sooner or later.
Yeah, I mean, look, I've ended up back here. You know, I thought I wouldn't come here pretty much ever, honestly, to live again. Here I am.
I feel the same. I was talking about that in that video. Something about you brings you back to Bali. I was like, I have a toxic relationship. Every time you leave, you forget about all the negatives, and then you kind of want to come back because it's, you know, have the sweet memories.
Yeah, that's right.
So on Instagram, you do like anxiety content. How would you describe that overall?
So it's overthinking / anxiety symptom related. Alternative therapy, so people that tend to not get the results they're seeking through traditional psychological practices will tend to come to me. I have a neuroscience perspective. I'm studying biomedical neuroscience.
Good man. So check them out. I'll link it down below. And yeah, big part of Bali, as I said, the social factor. There's always somebody around, and like no other place. I think that's why I also came here, because there's only a few places in the world where there's always somebody that I know, and that is the big, let's say, the big thing about Bali.
I feel that too.
All right.
Same.
Let's see what we got here. So because I wanted to share kind of like the full and not just a sugar-coated version of Bali, I would say the biggest drawback for me why I cannot spend too much time here is it's hard to kind of build a life where you have a lot of just opportunity to go for a walk. There's not many places you can go for a walk, very few. It's pretty much only the beach and this one place that most people don't know about. So for most people, it's just the beach. Every other time, there's pretty much no pedestrian walks, and which can get a bit hard mentally for you over the months. The other thing is, for me personally, Bali is also a place that attracts a lot of people that kind of like travel for the first time. Maybe it's the first time in Asia. So if you choose the wrong neighborhood, it can easily feel like a very touristy place. So you also mentioned the other neighborhoods, for example, Kuta or Seminyak. Seminyak can be quite all right. Kuta as well. It really depends on what you're looking for. They also have decent hotels, but those are the more established tourist areas, and also, let's say, the average age of the traveler there, much more short-term tourism, family tourism, so you can imagine it. Much busier, places that are much older, much more like old school mass tourism in a sense, which Bali obviously also lives off as well. But personally, I wouldn't recommend anybody to like live out of that area. The nice thing is, if you head out of Canggu, they have like a big mall. If you happen to need something after a couple of weeks, you have that as well, which again, most people that just live in Canggu, they're not aware that Bali actually has huge highways, couple of big malls, movie theaters, really good movie theaters actually. So you have all of that as well if you head out. So in many ways, I would say the island is super livable, but it's not so easy to navigate, in the sense that if you don't have the time, if you don't have that video, which you do have now, you might be under the perception that, let's say, either Bali is completely lacking certain development in terms of not malls, but let's say certain conveniences perhaps, and also the whole infrastructure situation, maybe perhaps the trash situation at some beaches. You might get the wrong perception that it's like that everywhere. And the crazy thing about Bali is that it's one island with so many different characters and sides to it, that for me personally, after being back one more time, like I said, last time I left, I've been here since 2017, pretty much every year for a couple of months, once even spent almost half a year in Indonesia. And I was kind of like, yeah, I think I don't really see myself coming back too soon. But after 1 year, I was looking for a place that feels comfortable, and honestly I was a bit afraid that Bali wouldn't develop in a better direction in terms of, like, let's say, I just thought all the traffic and everything is just gonna get much worse, but actually I am seeing that it is moving in a good direction. A lot of, let's say, the issues like constructions everywhere makes sense. It gets better over time when things are being built out. Perhaps they're gonna move then in other neighborhoods to develop them more, and there's always the concern, like, how is the island gonna look if there's barely like rice paddies left, and it's gonna be so Bali is suffering in some ways under too much demand and interest, but at the same time there's seasons where there's much more people here. There's the rainy season, which some people say don't come here. I personally enjoy it. Usually there's still sun in the morning, then it rains like crazy throughout the day. In the evenings often the sun is still out again, but the thing with it is though that the island is a bit quieter. Everything is a bit cheaper, especially accommodation, the biggest cost factor, and that can also be a consideration to come here. If you're not afraid to get a bit wet, might be a good time to come as well. So with all of that being out of the way, I would say, let me show you one of the most epic places that I've ever stayed. It looked nice when I saw it on the internet when I decided to stay there, but it exceeded all expectations. The Umana, Bali.
Just tap the key like this one.
Perfect.
That's all. Welcome to your new home.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Already feel at home.
Yes.
Like I never left. Wow, wow, wowie. Nice. Can you say again?
Yes.
Is this the best villa?
This is the best view
Yeah.
and the best villa that we have in Umana, Bali. As you
Wow.
can see, the view is very beautiful. Very clear ocean view villa.
Amazing, yeah. Wow.
Thank you so much.
And this house there is
It's the Umana Restaurant.
that's the restaurant.
Yeah.
And for the luxury segment of the Bali experience right now, we are overlooking the ocean. We are basically under the airport in the area where Uluwatu is. I would say in terms of nature, the best spot, and staying at the Umana Resort and Villas. And I have to tell you, let me just give you a little bit of a tour of this villa. It must be the best villa concept I've yet ever stayed. So walking in, this is the main door, this is your entrance area, and you just casually stroll in to see basically your private pool overlooking the ocean with a nice little chill area here in the corner. But I have to tell you, my absolute favorite part is this living area. You have high ceilings, this nice chandelier, a little sitting area, usually just close the doors to have it nice and cool down, but very much amazing for me. It's kind of like a nice kitchen area. You have your coffee machine. I'm just seeing I made a coffee like an hour ago. Oh, still warm. I don't know what it is. These hotel coffees, they're just so good. But that is not it. That is not it. That is the crazy part. First of all, super quiet here, peaceful. I believe they have 71 villas. I will look that up. Huge property. You will see it on the aerial shots coming through. One more bathroom here. The main bathroom is really a sight to behold. You got a bathtub, you got an indoor shower, toilet, and you got this super nice outdoor area where I just hung my shirt to dry in the sun. Really getting lucky with the weather right now. Is absolutely super beautiful and clear. Depending on the time of the year, it's actually always like that. Super cozy bedroom. And the best part, I would say the absolute highlight, is right in front of your room is this infinity pool. You can hop in anytime. What a villa, I have to tell you. So I would say I'm gonna take you along. They got like 4 different restaurant venues. Yesterday had dinner at the one overlooking the ocean, absolutely amazing. So you can also stop by here just to obviously have dinner. I think I'm gonna try their coffee. They have like a coffee tasting here maybe tomorrow, and some type of spa treatment gonna check out as well, something with sound healing. So that's what Bali is all about. So I thought let's check that out as well, maybe explore the surrounding area tomorrow. I have to tell you, most of resorts, especially in this area, are truly breathtaking, but here you're nestled like above sea level. There's kind of like a cliff. There's the Melasti beach, which I would say is one of the best beaches in Bali in terms of the color of the water, in terms of how clean it is, and other parts is a little bit different. Here, some of the best beaches and just so peaceful. All right, let me take you along. Yep. Up. I just forgot, how many villas is there here?
Total villa 73.
73. Okay. So this is the main way of transport around here. Got these buggies. I walked once. It's like 15 minutes from the top to the bottom. Huge property. You can go for a nice walk here. As of right now, we're going to their spa for some sound healing. I have no idea what it is. Obviously heard of it, seen pictures, but we're about to find out.
This is our welcome drink. It's from sechan wood and honey, and it's good for warming your body. Please enjoy.
Thank you very much. Nice and cold. Every time you taste something new in places like that, they like to play with the herbs.
May I know your name? Daniel. Good afternoon, Mr. Daniel. My name is Ayu. Today, nice to meet you too. Today we are going to do sound healing. Sound healing is nice for your
And for the evening, I have to tell you, there's a couple of different restaurants here at the Umana. But this one place, I saw it from the villa, I saw it on pictures, looks crazy. So walking in, very open. I can just go over to the terrace. Guys, check it out. So we're going around the corner. I think we are living somewhere up there behind the bush. And for sunset, wow, just I love Uluwatu for the fact that there's so many cliffs here. It's a much quieter neighborhood, but so this place, I think, is just opening at 6, so opened a couple of minutes ago. What a spot for sunset. So I'm gonna be having some dinner here. I don't know, maybe some steak. Wow, look at that. Guys, I have to tell you, I passed by here yesterday evening and I was like, nice spot. But when you are here while there is still sun, so make sure to come at 6 p.m. when they first open up. The view and the architecture inside, seriously, one of the probably most elegant yet unique places I've seen. I was about to say in Bali, but probably in the world, seriously. They know how to do it around here. So early morning in the beautiful lobby, 7 a.m. super peaceful. You hear the birds. The view from here is always nice, but right now it's like a little bit clear, slightly misty. They have these nice Balinese statues in the lobby, and as of right now, what I am gonna be doing is they're offering like a lot of different activities. And when I saw local village walk around the area, I thought, let's do that. Let's see what is around here. And yeah, we're gonna walk to the village. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let's go. Is it okay for you if I like take a little clip sometimes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So we will walk around 6 kilometers.
Mm-hmm.
Go and back around 1.5 hours.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to walk. We can walk.
Yeah. So we will follow the main street. So in Indonesia, we use the left side better. Now mix, because the tourists, some people from Java is Muslim island. From Java, Lombok, come to Bali to get walk. First, temple. This is the temple name. Sanskrit letter. The temple name. This is their family name.
Nice.
And this is their village name.
Yeah.
This Sanskrit letter.
So Pura Dadya Batu Belik.
Batu Belik. There is the temple name. Yeah.
So you say family temple, a family owns this temple?
Yeah, only family member can attend.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, there is praise. Put the offering every day.
It's a big temple. Is it expensive to build something like this, or?
Yeah, that's why the family member more than maybe 50, more than 100 people. So consider to take care, responsible of everything of the temple. So in the main on Sunday like this.
So this is still Unggasan, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sunday morning, Sunday market, next Sunday.
Wow, interesting. We got some satay. Is it satay ayam? I guess. Satay babi. Nice. So we get some super local market, pretty much like 20-30 minutes.
Traditional drink.
Yeah, I've tried it once.
Yeah,
It's yeah.
Okay.
Wow, they're selling little hamsters. Look at that.
Yeah.
Amazing. Wow. How much for one?
Berapaan satu, Pak? Berapa? 25,000 small one. 25 bigger.
Look at that. For $2 you can buy yourself a friend.
Yeah. Cute.
Very cute.
Yeah.
Do you think I can touch them?
Boleh disentuh dikit? Oh iya.
Oh, berarti bisa segini. Cukup untuk dua.
Berapaan nih? 10.
Dua. Look at this one. Stuart Little.
160.
Oh, he's biting. Okay, you can stay.
Ekonomi Bu, 35.000.
Second floor.
So very much real local life. You see it, it's very busy. Hello.
Masker.
Hello.
Nah, kursi tunan beli mak ni turun ke.
So, very busy. It's barely 8 a.m. right now. The market is filled. Everybody seems very excited. So here's like a
Make an offering.
some mandarins.
This one we call chana. Small offering.
Is that where you put
Yeah,
also
for
the little
in
coin?
the temple,
And
You say in the temple,
Yeah.
in underground like that.
Oh, that's unexpected.
This is
Overall,
for it, yeah? For offering only.
overall the village is fairly quiet, but then there's this market in the middle of it all of a sudden, which is super busy. Longan?
Have you?
Yeah, I've tried before many times.
You wanna try it?
I'm okay. What is this statue? Is it like a
Like a god.
yeah?
God and welcoming you.
Welcoming me to God. It's a traditional Bali house, yeah.
This is the aling-aling.
Aling-aling?
Yeah, aling-aling to protect the bad spirit.
Nice.
Yeah. You can see it around.
And where do they live? Is this a living area?
Living area, south side and north side. This is the soccer park. We call Bali Dajo. Bali Dajo is like in here we put the amenities or everything regarding the temple, like the sarong, umbrella, and we keep in here like a storage when the guests come to your house. Bali coffee, and then this is the local snack.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Rice inside or?
I cannot put it. We call klepon. I think you know this.
Yeah, I've tried it. I think
Yeah,
a year or
please
two
try it.
ago.
This is rice flavor. Yeah.
Coconut?
Inside, yeah.
Very good.
Coconut. And inside is a palm sugar sweet. You should eat one piece and then boom, sweet in your mouth.
So the best part of the morning, I would say, is getting in a nice breakfast. So the breakfast place here is like in a really nice open pavilion. Here's kind of like some type of arc. And I have to tell you, the view in the morning here, I already had breakfast once. First of all, really nice selection, very fresh stuff. They prepare also a lot of things on request. And what I like a lot is the space is very large. So it doesn't really feel too busy, even if you want to sit indoors, a couple more people, but overall very, very private in many ways. And the Commune Restaurant. Let's eat. Good morning.
How are you?
Good, good. Thank you.
The table outside, seems like yesterday.
Yeah, I think I'll sit outside. Hello.
Morning.
So, very nice breakfast, amazing location, and just to take you for a little bit of a walk. So, very much actually also the property is quite walkable. So from here, it's kind of like a shortcut to the villa that I'm staying right now. Obviously with the buggy that they drive around, it's much easier and faster to get around, but I like to walk. And yeah, overall 73 villas, so really big property, can get in a nice walk. And I would say, because every single villa has their own pool, I'm not sure if that is the reason why this pool most of the time is quite empty, but because it is, there's a good amount of people here right now and breakfast and so on. But I think because everybody has their own pool, not too many people are staying at the common pool, which I think actually looks pretty sick as well visually. So overall, aesthetically speaking, all the villas, they're kind of like on a hill in a way, that the first villas are at the top, and then the further lower you go, so pretty much, so most have an ocean view. And yeah, that is the place. Hello. For coffee tasting? Right there? Yeah. All right. So we're gonna be trying some Balinese coffee here. I can sit down, or?
Yes.
All right.
Sit. So only you, or
Yeah.
is you waiting your friend?
Just for me.
Alright. Alright, so welcome to Mer Lounge, to our Indonesian coffee tasting. So today's tasting is all about Indonesian coffee, which is we will do smell, slurp, and savor.
Okay.
The coffee beans that we are going to taste today is all from Tanah Merah.
Nice. So that's an area of Bali, or?
No, this is the name of
The brand,
brands,
okay.
yes. Tanah Merah is come from two words in Indonesia. Tanah and Merah. Tanah means soil, and Merah is mean red. So Tanah Merah refer to red soil.
Wash as in drink, or?
Yeah, I drink. So start with smell the coffee first. First smell. Smell the chocolate.
Yeah, it smells not like regular coffee actually.
Yes, and then
It smells
you-
very.
some little bit of nutty and
Yeah.
sweet black. Let's taste.
All right. Exquisite.
Okay, Okay, let's start the journey. So you will pair with the chocolate cookie first.
All right. So pair as in I eat it.
Yeah. And then you sip the coffee. The chocolate flavor.
And so, I hope you enjoyed today's little multifaceted Bali experience. I have to tell you, in some ways, I didn't know if I would enjoy it. I've stayed overall 7 weeks here, leaving in a couple of days. And my conclusion is that Bali can be whatever you want to make it to be. A quick vacation, a nice little spot, little whatever Instagram stuff, going to Ubud, doing these things. Or you can settle down, make it your productivity base, or really develop a proper routine, go to the gym. Amazing nature. It's really all about what you make it. Some neighborhoods can be very busy, very touristy, all about party, alcohol. Other areas are all about the Zen, the spirituality, in some ways, perhaps. And then there's areas that are just more functional. And in my opinion, if you do it right, still to this day, there is a reason why this island is so hyped, especially the fruits. I have to tell you, for me, that is a big thing. This sunshine, this time of the year. On that note, this is what Got a World to See is all about. Going to places that offer more opportunity, more adventure, and more freedom. And with that, you too, got a world to see. While the service is fuck me, god damn it, fuck, I'm going to the gym, yeah, but